My first match in front of an audience was on Monday Night Raw, and like that was crazy. She's someone that like I go to for everything. Our locker room is like seriously one of a kind. Like it is probably my favorite thing about this job. What's up, guys? It's me, WWE superstar Maxxine Dupri, and you are listening to Huge Pop with Donnie and Jimmy.
We're back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Huge Pop with Donnie DaSilva and longtime WWE referee Jimmy Korderas, and it's time right now for the big hello. And this week's guest originally hails from Loomis, California, a town that has less people than an episode of SmackDown. Maybe it was that small town work ethic that has helped carry her to so much success at such a young age. Many of you saw her for the first time on your TVs as a Rams cheerleader, and that gig even landed her a spot at the Super Bowl. She then transitioned to the Phoenix Suns dance pack before making the decision in 2021 to try out for WWE. When she started training at the PC, one of my very good pals was down there working as a guest coach. I asked him this morning, what was your first impression of this woman? And he said what made her stand out was she had absolutely no clue what she was doing, but she owned it. No excuses, wasn't pretending to be anything other than she was. She was super personable, always paid attention, was very genuine, and had an amazing attitude. He went on to say, I can see why she was called up so quickly and succeeded. And quickly is the operative word. Just a few months later, she debuted on NXT as a valet, and then quicker than a hiccup, she was on SmackDown as the director of talent for the Maximum Male Models. In 2023, her crossover segments with Alpha Academy led to her joining that crew and an ongoing series where her coach and teammates were trying to help her train to become a better pro wrestler. Earlier this year, she started tagging with Natalya as one half of the Dungeon Dolls. And even more recently, she has completely blown away the WWE universe as she has had a pair of super impressive showings against Intercontinental Champion Becky Lynch. She also happens to be the world's biggest Batista mark, a bona fide Swiftie, a Pilates princess. And oh, by the way, she's also a successful entrepreneur, ladies. Shop Jaunty. Our listeners in Quebec may have a chance to see her and the entire WWE roster at SmackDown in Montreal on January 23rd and Saturday night's main event on January 24th. Combo tickets available right now on Ticketmaster.ca. And right here in Toronto, the announcement just went out. You'll get your chance to see her at Monday Night Raw on January 26th. Yes, tickets at Ticketmaster.ca. Ladies and gentlemen, graduated Chad's training and got that degree, but Gable was a prick, so she soon got free. With Otis and Tozawa, they're an adorable three. With Natty by her side, their opponents all flee. She's more over than Elvis in the state of Tennessee. She's gonna win that IC belt. Oh, yes, I guarantee. Her future at the top is not hard to foresee. Now give it up for the lovely and talented Maxxine Dupri.
Oh my gosh, with an intro like that, I'll hang out with you guys every day.
Love it.
And a little Loomis shout out. I love that so much.
It's funny because I traveled with WWE for decades and I don't even recall driving through Loomis.
No, you probably never did, unless the only time you would have is if you had a show in like Sacramento and then a show in like Lake Tahoe, then maybe you would have passed the exit. And even then, you may have taken a different highway.
Yeah, like how long would it take you to drive through all of Loomis?
Oh, like 3 minutes. It's the best ever. It is like, I am the proudest Loomis girl. I'm the proudest Golden Eagle of Del Oro High School. Like, I love that little town.
That's so awesome. Thank you so much for joining us here today. I got to tell you, a couple of weeks ago, we had your friend Natalya on this show. And as a result of that, Natty was good enough to, like and share a lot of our stuff on social. So now she's at the very, very tippy top of my algorithm every morning. So this morning I turn on my phone and say, what's happening in the world? And the very first thing I saw when I woke up was Natty and Maxxine in the ring doing their thing. And can I just tell you, to me, what was the most important part of that little short, not important, the most impressive part of that little short clip? It wasn't, the fact that there was like really believable escapes, the chaining, the fact that you seem to take the coaching really well and do exactly what you said. It was your punch.
Thank you.
Whoa.
I've been working on that.
I can tell. Like,
Thank you. That's all Natty. Natty seriously taught me how to punch, and I'm trying to get that thing lethal. You know, I'm trying to knock Becky out one of these times.
that's a finish.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I mean, Jimmy and I talk about it all the time. Something that fans don't really appreciate or understand is how that's one of the toughest things to do.
It's so hard. It is so hard because it's like the depth perception, and then also just to make things look aggressive while trying to be safe is like nuts.
Yeah, there also has to be a little cooperation on the other side, because in order to make it look good, your opponent needs to feel it a little bit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, sorry about this one. Here I come.
Yeah, we'll go for a little adult beverages later as an
Yeah.
apology.
Yes. I'll
Potatoes
pick up the bill. It'll be fine.
Yes.
I want to ask you, because I talked about in the introduction a little bit about your background. Certainly not all of it, because you've done so many impressive things. Can you compare the interpersonal dynamics in the locker room of an NFL cheerleader, an NBA dancer, and a WWE superstar?
It's actually very similar. I feel very blessed that all the teams that I danced on, we were like a sisterhood. Like those were my girls. We had so much fun. And a lot of what I learned doing that is like you're performing, you know, in a stadium or in an arena. So sometimes, especially when you're tall, you're in the back line. But it doesn't matter because you're performing for everyone up top. People are looking down, they can see everything. So it forces you to take your ego out of it and focus on how big can I perform so that every single person in here can feel me. And then when you have that dynamic, you're not upset that, oh, this girl's 5'2", so she gets to be in the front row. It's like, no, that's my girl. I want her in the front row, and I'm going to perform just as big in the back row so that I can make sure everyone in here feels that energy. And I feel like that actually correlates a lot to performing in a WWE ring, right? Like we need each other. And our locker room is like seriously one of a kind. Like it is probably my favorite thing about this job. It is so much fun. And when you have that relationship with people, then it's so much fun when you work together. And, you know, it makes Mondays, like I don't go into work and be like, oh, it's like stressful day. Like I go in like, oh my God, I'm so excited. We're all going to be giggling all day. It's going to be so much fun.
So I have a family member that's a former NFL cheerleader, and I have a few friends over the years that have danced for the Raptors dance pack in the NBA.
Oh, awesome.
And a lot of what I've heard from them is very similar to what you said, but I've also heard that there can be, I mean, you get it everywhere, but the political game and a little bit of cattiness and a little bit of backbiting and that sort of thing. But the vibe I get, Maxxine, is you are very much a girl's girl.
I am. I love my girlies. I love all my friends. I love, like, I'm a big believer in, like, if you have a lit candle and you use it to light another candle, it doesn't burn out the original flame. There is enough light for all of us. Us elevating each other elevates everyone. It elevates the whole locker room. So, and I think as long as you keep that mindset, it's so much easier to perform well together and be friends while you're doing it.
It's interesting you say that, because in a world of professional wrestling, obviously sometimes egos get in the way a little bit, because it's just the nature of the beast. So
For sure.
it's an easier balance for you now, as far as keeping that ego in check, knowing that, you know, hey, my time will come when I'm ready for it.
Exactly. Like, and that's what's kind of been the beauty of my journey, is it's allowed me the time to like really grind and grow and get better, so that when that time does come, I feel deserving of it. And I don't feel like, oh, I just walked in and took this, you know, like I feel like, okay, I've done the work to do this. And hopefully like everyone will be happy for me when it's my time. Like I'm happy for them when it's their time, you know, and that's like a beautiful thing about our locker room.
We've seen gimmicks in pro wrestling in the past where someone comes in and their character doesn't know how to wrestle. Yeah. And their character is not really a wrestler. I mean, one of the biggest examples in WWE history is Santino Marella. He was a fan in the front row who hopped the guardrail and became Intercontinental Champion on the first night. And then eventually we saw him evolve into a pro wrestler. In your case, It was kind of a shoot, right?
No, it was a shoot. Yes. My favorite thing is when people would say to me at like a meet and greet, like, oh, I just love how you like are able to play this like character that doesn't know how to wrestle. And I always say, I am honored that you think I'm that talented. Like, I wish I knew exactly what I was doing. And every mistake and every moment was a joke. And I was in on the joke, but no. My first match in front of an audience was on Monday Night Raw. And like, that was crazy. I remember nothing. I completely blacked out. I was so nervous. I almost threw up after because I don't think I took one single breath for 4 minutes straight. And like the match was probably a minute, but I'm saying 4 minutes, like the time the music hit, like I stopped breathing. I was like, I don't know what's happening, but I have to survive this. It was crazy. And it's been a beautiful thing getting to go on that ride with the WWE universe. Obviously there was moments where I wish I was more advanced and like could have more control in certain scenarios, but that's just part of my story.
No, you claim that 4 minutes because fans always seem to not realize that entrances are part of ring time. Okay. It is. That's your commercial, baby. Sorry, Tim, go ahead.
No. I find it interesting. You talk about your relationship with the ladies in the locker room, but you and Natty have formed a special bond, especially going in. I give you props for going into that dungeon because that's not easy for anyone.
It's not. Oh my gosh. Sometimes like we'll do, around, it's basically, we do this like circuit. And so it's basically like doing like 8 minutes of like full intensity wrestling, no commercial break, no moment where you're in a hold, like everything you're going. And when I tell you, I feel like my quads are going to slip off of my body and I'm going to fall over. And there's so many people in there that I want to impress that I'm like fighting for my life to catch my breath. But it's also prepared me for these moments where I'm getting to have these longer matches that I've never had. And I'm coming to the back and I'm like, oh, I can still breathe. This is so exciting. Like it really we call it the dungeon lungs. And like my dungeon lungs are there and I love that. And I think with Natty, I just read her book, which is just unbelievable. Her story is so amazing. But I think that's also why, even though we have such different backgrounds, right? And she was like born into a family that loved wrestling. I also think like we had a lot of similarities, where she was fighting for this moment and like training really hard. And I think like we see that in each other and like we just really have this special bond. And she's someone that like I go to for everything. And she's always answers, is always there for me. It's really special.
As a fellow tall person, I have a question because in my years in indie wrestling, I've run into this so many times. Like right now, the company I work with in Toronto, we have a woman who does some work for us as a valet and flat foot, no shoes. She's like 6'1".
Oh, wow.
And she rocks it. Like she'll put on a pair of boots and not care. And then I always get the dudes that are like, I don't want to stand next to her in front of a crowd. Does this happen to you? You don't have to name names, but does this happen to you?
Oh, yes. And you know what I say? I go like this every single time. I flex and then I make myself extra tall and I go, why? Why don't you like it? Say it. Say why you're upset that I'm in these shoes. And then they usually laugh and get over it.
I love that. That is the right way to handle it. I mentioned on this show a few weeks ago, Jimmy will corroborate. I'm not just blowing smoke, but we do a segment where we talk about our favorite moments and not so favorite moments of the week. And one of my favorite moments was from your last match with Becky. And it was a little tiny moment that I don't even know if a lot of people would pick up on the way that it hit me was I'm looking at things that make sense, right? For your character. And like the fact that you're tall, your legs look like they're 17 feet long. Yeah. So to me, when you do that big high kick to the face, it's like a roundhouse. It's like you're highlighting this big long appendage that's coming out of nowhere to just smack a redhead. And I'm thinking to myself, that just looks so cool. And it drives me nuts when you see people not using their natural gifts as part of their offense.
Thank you. Thank you. I train at Flatbacks a lot, and Sean Spears and Tyler Breeze, they've helped me with a lot of those moves where it's like, okay, I need to do something with my legs. Try this knee, try this kick. And it is funny because we were working on something new last week and I'm like going for it. And they're like, okay, no girl is that tall. You're going to need to lower your leg. I'm like, oh.
I mean, Spears, I remember when Spears was first taking his like very first bump, and everyone looked at him like that might be the most natural pro wrestler ever.
Oh, I love that. He just like his brain for the business is next level. I love to go in there and pick their brains. And like, seriously, I can go in there and be like, oh, okay, I want a new move. And within like legit 15 seconds, they're like, here's 7. I'm like, oh, God, I love it here.
That's
Jimmy,
amazing.
we're up against the clock. Jimmy, you got anything for Maxxine?
I just want to say thank you so much. And I appreciate watching you now and watching your progress. And I wish you continued success. And I know you're on the right path. And I can tell you have the right attitude. Keep it up. And I'm looking forward to some Maxxine Gold in the future.
Me too. We're hustling for it. We're grinding.
Can I ask you one last question before you
Yeah.
run? I've heard you say in the past, I think it was on Van Vliet, where you said that at heart, you're a diva.
Yes.
And for many years, the word diva was almost like a curse word.
Yeah.
Right? From fans and talent.
Yeah.
And I think now a lot of it started, I think, through Chelsea. And now
Yes.
with
100%.
you, I think the word has been reclaimed. So I'm wondering, is there room right now in WWE for the 5-star women's worker and the diva prototype? And is there a significant difference between the two at this stage?
So I think there's room for all of us, right? And I think that's the beauty of WWE is when you watch the TV screen, you may relate to someone who is Rhea Ripley, who's a killer. Or you might relate to someone who's Chelsea Green and you're looking at her gear and you're looking at the way she sells and like that is what gets you going. But I think the beauty of 2025 is it's like, get you a girl that can do both. Get you a girl that can wrestle and is a diva. Like, why do we have to be one? And I love that.
It's amazing. Listen, we really appreciate it. I know you've got a heart out. Do us a favor, though, before you jump off the line, hang on with us for a quick sec, okay? And by the way, coming up next month, holy cow, you're getting married, Miss Thing.
I know. Crazy.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
I know, it's sneaking up.
That is a crazy story. I wish we had more time to get into it next time you come on the show.
Yes, we'll have to talk again soon.
Yeah.
We have
We're
more to
getting
say.
Anthony on here too, okay?
Oh my God, he would love that.
Maxxine, thank you so much, all right?
Thank you, guys.
There she is, everybody. Maxxine Dupri.